Most of modern people think in terms of the physical, only what they can see, sense, or touch. Many fools also think that nature is random and chaotic. I believe this is an important subject as chaos and randomness comes along with insecurity and fear. And if this is applied to our lives, we will always be in the state of agitation and worry. However, wherever you look in nature, you will observe amazing perfection, structure, and order. It's enough to take a walk in a forest and study the trees, plants, flowers, lives of tiny ants, bugs, and their organisms. Perfection and structure is plain obvious and must, even with this volcano, where you see the lava is limited to one place, one location surrounded by walls, and it doesn't overspill all over the place, all over Reykjavik and Iceland, but erupting just in one this designated location. Perfection and structure is plain obvious, and one must either be completely blind or deprived of mind not to notice it. Hence, there is no randomness in nature. Now, back to the first point. The fact that we don't see some things does not mean they don't exist. For example, electrical current, radio waves, wind, our own thoughts, remote countries and places that we never visited. We know they exist, though we have never seen those things or phenomena. The same applies to God, angels, demons, and human soul in separate state from the body as functioning and living force, and the immaterial world as a whole, of which we have immense knowledge, as spiritual phenomena had been manifested in nature millions of times, confirmed by countless witnesses, writings, and books. And I mean hundreds of books, especially those which are dealing with the lives of saints, saintly men. Let me name a few from the 20th century. Porphyrios Bairaktaris, the Greek saint who died in 1991, Paisious Eznepidis, also known Paisious of Holy Mountain, also from Greece, John of Kronstadt, the Russian saint, Sampson Sievers, another Russian saint from the 20th century, Amphilochius of Pochayiv, Ukrainian saint, Gabriel Urgebadze, famous saint from Georgia, Nektarios of Aegina from Greece, but also Jewish claircoyants and miracle workers of modern age, such as Baba Sali, otherwise known as Yisrael Abuhatzeira, Amram Ben Diwan from Morocco, Ben Ishai from Iraq, whose lives are full of supernatural miracles, which defy the orders of physical nature, and they are the living proofs of God's workings in this world and of the spiritual reality which is above the physical. Some of those saints had a black and white TV, so to say, into the spiritual world. The others had a colorful TV, so spiritual things better. For example, St Porphyrios Bairaktaris, those who are from Greece, they will know what I'm talking about. And if you study the lives of those holy people, of the saints, you will realize the existence not only of God as the guiding force in nature and mankind, but also the existence of other spiritual beings and how God guides the human in this life. But most of people will ignore these people and facts, just as they ignore the perfection in nature they see around them, again living the life of animal without any sort of mental reflection or delving into the nature of things and world around them. Likewise, in the countless Protestant congregations in America, I know we have many viewers from America on this channel, Protestants, and also in Protestant churches around the globe, there had been numerous manifestations of God, the spiritual power, supernatural healings due to communal congregational prayer when paralyzed people walked and blind started to see. Again, thousands of cases, thousands of facts which can be confirmed by thousands of witnesses. Again, The fools will act the animal way without giving any thought or reflection about this. It's simple just to close your eyes and live the convenient life in a type of illusional bubble. Another easy proof of the existence of God, angels, and demons is offered by the study of exorcisms in the Catholic Church. Quite a few books had been written by a number of exorcists who are dealing with demons on a regular basis. Hundreds of facts of demonic possessions, infestations, obsessions, ailments provoked by demons. And those things are getting so common in modern age that it is hard to ignore. The best books, which amass tons of eye-opening facts, are books by exorcists themselves, such as Gabriel Urgebadze, the main exorcist of Vatican, who wrote quite a few books, and Stephen Rossetti, the living American exorcist. Again, the fools will ignore this truth and reality with their own lame excuses, or simply will not reflect on these facts, acting the animal way. It's just too hard to think and reflect. Many prefer to ignore their reality consciously. Some philosophers, in parentheses, went as far as to say that everything what we see is an illusion. Now, there is evil, disease, and injustice in this world, I have to admit, and it's a subject of a different video, but to put it short, evil is not due to God, but due to human corruption and the devil. But God is using evil for good ends in the end, as means for salvation. I will explain this in a different video. In those fools who reject the existence of God and claim that nature is random, at the same time, they also blame this non-existent God for all the evils and injustice in this world, and do it quite emotionally. Sometimes I see lengthy comments where they accuse God in injustice, as the devil and demons do, by the way, too. Now, if there is no God, why do they get that emotional? Subconsciously they do know God exists, and their opposition to God is conscious. Most of humans are weak-minded and are lazy to think, and get easily led astray by the opinions of the masses, which are becoming more and more compulsive. Now, there is a conscious force which is opposing God and people who strive for truth and salvation, and this force is the devil, which influences the weak-minded. The immense interest in the dark, dragons, piracy, crime stories, horror movies, and all the dark stuff is due to the demonic influences on the modern society. Millions of weak-minded people, and I wouldn't call them even atheists, as they don't believe or reflect much on anything, simply living the biological life, are putting the tattoos of dragons, skulls upon themselves. Their interest in the dark is due to subconscious demonic obsession. In their rebellion against God, the demons try to entice on their side as many humans as possible. Their hatred for human is due to the envy, as the human has the potential for sainthood, for salvation, eternal bliss, the morning knowledge, so to say, what the fallen angels lost. Any human who reaches sainthood is becoming superior to the devil in terms of wisdom, capabilities, as he or she unites with God in a way and gains the morning knowledge which the devil lost at the fall. I just want you to be aware of the potential, of your potentials as human being, of the evil reality which seeks to destroy and enslave you and harm you, and of God as the dominant force in nature and in our lives. I think it's very, very important. As a bonus, I will advise you some literature to read or to take a look, which will make you think how the world functions, how the things work in this world, how God works in human lives and through his servants. Here is a book about Porphyrios Bairaktaris. In my opinion, he was one of the greatest men that walked the earth in 20th century, who reached very deep communion, very close relations with God, who was very close to God, and who did really many miracles. He was telling the names of people whom he never met and everything about their lives, what they did in the past. It was revealed to him through grace. He could tell you where is the spring of water in the ground. He could see, and he could even tell you what type of water is this, if it's salty or if it's suitable for drinking or not. He could be present in Greece and present in Germany or Serbia at the same time, being outside of the body with his soul in a different location and seeing and telling you everything what was going on there. He could tell you what you have been praying the night before and how you have been addressing the God during that prayer. Also, he did countless numbers of healings by simply praying to God, who heard him, who responded to his prayer. He cured people from cancer, from numerous diseases, incurable diseases, instantaneously. Dozens of facts are presented in this book written by his spiritual disciple, who knew him very well, called Anargyros Kaliatsos, his close disciple who witnessed all those miracles. Now, in Israel, there had been a man called Baba Sali. His name was Yisrael Abuhatzeira, who could do similar type of things. He could heal people through prayer. He could be present in Mexico while being in Israel, of course, in his soul outside of the body, and tell you everything what was going on there. And he could tell you your past, your future, the reasons behind your diseases, and things like that. It's another great book to read, which will make you convinced of God and spiritual reality. So I would, if you are Christian, I would refer you to Christian books. This book is good for the Jews who live in Israel. Another Greek saint I can refer you to, his name was St Paisious Eznepidis, who did countless miracles as well, of similar type as to other people, healing people from cancer, from incurable diseases, could be present outside of the body in various places and things like that. You can check on him as well. Also, India had its own Christian saint whose life was full of miracles of similar type as we told earlier, and you can check on this saint. He had ruptures during prayers. When he was praying, he was leaving the body and had been within the heavenly domains where he conversed with angels just as we converse with men. This man was really living one step in heaven, one step on earth, and he disappeared in Tibet. He was a missionary to Tibet. Nobody knows where he died or he's buried. His life is just incredible story. You can check on this man. There are several books about him. I think this one is the best. Also, there's another book about Sundar Singh by Parker that you can buy on Amazon. Yet another book which will blow your mind. It's good for the unbelievers who don't believe in God to come in touch with the reality. It's written by Gabriel Urgebadze, the main exorcist of Vatican. For many years had been expelling demons from people. And he tells of his experiences. There are hundreds of facts, hundreds of stories, real life stories, where we are dealing with the evil force, with the demons, often hiding themselves and not wanting to reveal. And he classifies all this information, warns you of all the dangers and traps which might lead a person astray from God. Another book by American exorcist called Stephen Rossetti. It's a good read. I read all those books. It's not just that I'm telling you that to read something what I haven't read myself. I read every single one of them, and I have more books on the subject. So I'm telling something from my own experience, so you can verify the information that you can rely on. Here you have a lot of facts as well. Many cases of levitation, flying chairs, and small children talking in Latin, demons talking through children, things like that. It's all real. Demons had been threatening this priest by writing some messages and causing all kinds of supernatural obstructions to stop him from helping the people. Anyway, I believe this information is enough for you to start with if you wish to explore the truth, to know how the world works, how the things are arranged in this world, who is God, who are angels, what awaits you after death. You need to be prepared for this and get ready and spend your life in the right way. Peace and blessings from Mallorca. That's where I am. I'm in Spain currently. I will be in Iceland on Saturday, next Saturday. Be well.